guys, it's Tiny Tay and I'm back today with a bit more personal video for you guys. Personal in that I'll be sharing my personal views and opinions, and personal in that hopefully I will be able to connect with you guys personally regardless if we share the same opinions or not, and just kind of getting, I guess, to know each other on a bit of a deeper level. I would just like to say thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, remember to hit the like and subscribe button. If you are returning, hi, I missed you guys. I know it's been a week or so, about 2 weeks since I've last posted a video. So to get started with today's video, I will be sharing with you guys my top 5 favorite things to do to practice mental self-care. Especially in time of change like right now, it is so very important because you cannot pour from an empty cup. You can do anything, but you cannot do everything. So in order for you to be able to do anything at your best ability, you have to take care of yourself. So the first way that I practice mental self-care would be to create boundaries. This is probably one of my favorite and most used way of practicing mental self-care, is to basically just, if I'm in a situation where I feel that it can become very uncomfortable, or where I feel that someone did something to me that I am not okay with, I automatically just create the boundary right there and am like, please don't do that again. I am not comfortable with that. I did not enjoy that. I thought that that was inconsiderate, or whatever the situation was. I address it right then and there, because if you don't, they will continue to do it, and that will be the dynamic of the relationship, which could definitely ruin a relationship. As most of us know, the person who cares the least has the most power. So if you both are caring equally, then it makes for a hopefully, safe and healthy relationship. So in order to do that, you definitely need to create those boundaries. And my second way to practice mental self-care is to give myself a break from people, from social media, from news outlets. I'm an only child, so I'm absolutely used to being alone, and I love being by myself. I'm very comfortable with being by myself, but having social media allows you to connect with other people, and that's fun. It is, but you also need to hold space for yourself, and in order to do that, you need to be able to recognize that, oh, I'm becoming very attached to social media, or oh, social media is becoming very draining with all the ignorance that people are posting, or maybe I'm just tired of deleting friends this week, or tired of being annoyed with people who are posting. And that's when you just need to recognize that you need a break, and you just put the phone down for a little bit. Read a book, paint a picture, do yoga, bullet journal. These are all things that I like to do when I'm taking a break from social media, just because it gives me an outlet. Even if it's only for an hour, honestly, I usually feel better after. The third thing that I like to do to practice mental self-care is to encourage and acknowledge my own feelings. This, for me, again, as an only child, is no problem, because my parents were always there to listen to my feelings and acknowledge those feelings and let me get those feelings out. So this is not new to me. However, I do know that tons of people out there bottle their feelings up and are very dismissive of their feelings, which is very unhealthy. It is okay to acknowledge your feelings, even if you are not necessarily the victim of the situation. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to let yourself cry. These are things that our body needs to do to release the stress. And if you continue to bottle it up, that is horrible for your mental health, which is why you need to just sit down and be like, okay, now it's time to self-reflect and just think about how I'm really feeling, and allowing myself to feel that way. I'm not saying, you have to be sad for 3 weeks. If you are, that's fine. But even just giving yourself like 7 minutes to cry. One of my really good friends, Sammy, sets a timer for herself to cry, and after that she's like, okay, well, let's move on to the next thing. And sometimes that's all you need, is just 7 minutes. Another way that I take care of myself and kind of treat myself in a positive manner speak of myself in a positive manner is to use positive self-affirmations, and as well as when I meditate, I chant, I use mantras. Mantras are part of my everyday life, and kind of just like manifesting, I guess, the things that I want. And it has worked for me this far. This is something my mom has taught me when I was very younger. Just basically say what you want. Closed mouths don't get fed. When people ask, what am I going to school for? I say, oh, I'm going to be a nurse. I say, I'm going to pass my HESI, which is my nursing entrance exam. Or I am going to do this. I basically just say that it's going to happen. That does not mean that it's going to happen. Obviously, I work hard. I mean, I'm going to study for my HESI. I've made good grades thus far in college to get into the nursing program. And that was just an example of it. Some people would say, hopefully I get into the program, or I'm going to try to get into the program. I say, I'm going to get into the program. I am going to be a nurse. I am in nursing school. Like, these are things that I say to affirm my own thoughts and kind of not necessarily appease myself, but give myself a fulfillment, I guess, in a way, so that these are things that I know I can do. I know I can get into the program. Why do I know that? Because I'm going to be a nurse. I know that I'm going to pass my HESI because I'm going to be a nurse. These are just things that I know because I'm working hard to get them. I speak it into existence, so to say. Speaking it into existence obviously does not mean that it's going to happen, as I said before, but positive affirmations, that absolutely helps. Small little changes in your own vocabulary that you can do to give yourself confidence. It definitely, unless you are like 100% perfect, which a lot of us are not, it definitely can take a while to become this, positive affirmation person. But once you have it, you kind of have it. It kind of teaches you in a way not to doubt yourself. And doubting myself is something that I don't do very often. And that is probably due to the positive affirmations that I use in my everyday life, because I know I can do it. So it's going to get done. This works for me. I know that this is, like I said, a hard transition, or hard to even like realize to change your speech to say. Just say it like you know it. Say it with confidence. Say it wholeheartedly. I'm gonna be a nurse. When I look back on this video in 2.5-ish years and I've graduated with my nursing degree, I will be like, wow, I really manifested that. And it's just something as simple as, like I said, saying you're gonna be a nurse, saying that you're gonna get an A on the test, saying that you know that you have the confidence to do something. That is something that I really believe in, the power of words. And aside from all of my other many hobbies and things that I love to do, communication is something that I found and fell in love with when I was in college. I TA'd for a communications class. It was my favorite class. I wrote pages and pages for communications, and it's just, again, another love of mine. So these are things that I look into because I know that words have power and words have meaning. I used to be one of those people that were like, words don't necessarily really matter. You just like brush it off, or like you can't really get cyberbullied. But like, now that I know what I know now, I would have gone back and changed all those things that I said, because I know that words do matter, and I know that words are spells. So on to my next point. Something that I do in my everyday life is to watch for foxes. For me, this means people who will gaslight you, people who will be devil's advocate, people who think that you're arguing when you're sharing your opinion, people who are defensive and combative when you ask them a question, when you ask them to elaborate on their opinions, or when you share an opinion that's different from theirs. These are people who I call foxes. These are people that I stay away from. Sneaky, sly people, people who are dishonest, just anyone who basically could drain my energy. People who will not provide anything necessarily positive in my life to where it would make a change. Like, some people are just so positive in my life that I can depend on them, or that I can ask them a question, or that I know that they would be willing to share their energy with me. And all foxes do is steal your energy. So we don't like foxes. We watch out for foxes. Those were just very like blatant example of foxes. Another example of foxes are people who pour their load onto you without even asking if you are in a state to where you can take them venting. People who ask you questions and expect you to do all of their Googles for them and expect you to educate them on every single thing. And just, first of all, you are not responsible for anyone else's education. Google is out there for all of us. Second, this should go without being said, but you should always 100% protect your own energy. And a lot of the time, foxes are as simple as someone asking you a question and then you feel the need to explain it 100% to them. Sometimes you just need to tell people the brunt of it, and then you need to be like, do your own research, do your own Googles. You need to just basically let them know that it is not your job to educate them, and that if they would like to know more, then they need to educate themselves. We are all adults here, and even if we're not, kids are capable of educating themselves. So even if this person is not necessarily being, aggressive with you or arguing, anything like that, there are still little foxes out there to watch out for as well. Do not let those foxes steal your energy. And that goes back to creating boundaries. Let those foxes know you are not there to do their work. You do not owe them, and you are not required to teach them anything. Don't feel obligated to educate people, because at this point in time, educate yourself or don't. We all have the tools at our hands. Lastly, one of my favorite methods of self-care is basically just to allow yourself to indulge. I have many health conditions, so I don't get to do a lot of the things that I would really love to do. And just one of those things would be as simple as eating dairy. When I'm sad, or when I don't feel good, or when I just, am not in my 100% mental state, something like eating chips and dip for me would bring just a little bit more happiness, would just bring a little bit more ease of anything that I'm feeling, because eating chips and dip is not something that I do all the time, because I have a very sensitive stomach, and that is just not worth it normally. Or like eating an ice cream bar. I love toffee bars, but again, I don't eat those every day because it's not really conducive to life. It would be very just uncomfortable. So when I am just feeling kind of down, something that I like to do is just let myself indulge. Maybe binge watch a TV show, not do homework for one night, not go to bed early. It's even as something as simple as a candy bar, because I'm not a huge candy bar girl, so one candy bar will last me like 2 weeks. So just allow yourself to relax, allow yourself to indulge, save space for yourself, basically, is what I'm telling you to do. Aside from everything being draining, and just take some time, even if it's just simply going in the bathroom and sitting on your phone for 20 minutes. Like, that space is just so important. That space can really just change how your day is going. Another thing that I like to do is to take a bath. I really enjoy taking baths for like 4 hours. That's kind of an extreme method of letting yourself indulge. But if you have 4 hours, why not take a bath? I mean, like I said, this is just my method of letting myself indulge, but that small release of just eating a piece of chocolate, or allowing yourself to have or do something that you don't normally do, going roller skating, taking a 20-minute walk around the block, those things really make or break the day. Like, sometimes all you need is a walk, and allowing yourself to indulge in that is a great feeling. that's just as simple as it is. I would also just like to say thank you very much for 450 subscribers. I'm so grateful. I love you all. I will be announcing a giveaway coming soon. I have to get all of the kinks worked out as I have been very busy with school and lots of technical difficulties. I have misplaced the best SD card in the world, so I'm using an older one, which is taking a lot of work, to say the least. So hopefully in the meantime I'll be able to find my card and get the giveaway video posted. Of course, stay tuned on my Instagram at TinyChaseShenanigans. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. I hope you enjoyed these tips for mental self-care. Please comment anything that you're feeling down below. I love you guys so much. Thank you for 450. Bye!